wiper malware, which is found in, again, an analysis of the Iran-linked attacks specifically. Now, again, you all must have heard about these attacks which happened recently with the Albanian parliament. There were the two local telecom companies as well, which is one Albania, and the Eagle Mobile as well, and Albania's air carrier, which is Air Albania, right? Now, this again was a stream of attacks which was initiated by an Iran-linked hacker group, right? So just to give you a bit of an example, they used multiple tools for it. One of the tools was called No Justice, which in fact means that it can crash the targeted Windows operating systems so that it cannot be rebooted. Okay, and a PowerShell script as well was designed to copy and propagate all the wiper to other machines as well in the organization's network before that is activated. So again, this could cause tremendous amount of issues as well internally within the systems, right? So I wanted to kind of give a bit of a local information. Now, moving away from local information, and I wanted to give you a little bit more from an international perspective. And I in fact, like to talk a lot about these attacks which happened last year, because personally, I had visited these resorts when I was in US a couple of years back. And I was kind of startled to, hear that even they were a victim of an attack. And in fact, this was primarily more of kind of like a ransomware attack, where Caesar's Palace, one of the resorts in Las Vegas, they in fact paid $15 million to the attackers so that they could get that stolen data back. Similarly, there was another resort, which is the MGM resort. They in fact lost about $100 million just so that they can, get the systems back on order. And the attack here was so, dangerous, I would say, or I would say caused quite a concern, is because customers were not able to access their room key cards, because obviously that's all connected to the system, right? And they were not allowed entry into their own rooms. Even the slot machines, because a lot of people, they go to Las Vegas, obviously, for gambling, and that is a huge revenue for these resorts. Now imagine when these slot machines don't work for, even if you call it like a couple of hours, that's a lot of financial impact they have in place, right? So if you look at the overall the information what I've shared with you, attacks, it can vary in different ways, right? It could be financial impact, it could be brand reputation, it could be stealing data, which could be misused in multiple ways as well, right? And this has been increasing year on year on year. Another key concern is OT security, and Ade mentioned that obviously Ade being an expert in OT security specifically, I think he will give you far more information about the different kind of incidents we see specifically when it comes to operational technology. So when I'm talking about operational technology, I mean to say manufacturing houses, where you have 24/7 operations, like energy companies, industrial companies, oil and gas industries, transportation sector, for example, where there is always 24/7 operations, basically critical infrastructure organizations is what I'm talking about. Now, again, recently, from the past, let's say a year, the number of attacks specifically related to OT security has been on a rise. Specifically, ransomware attacks. 47% of the organizations today had complained that they were a victim of a ransomware attack when it comes to OT security, followed by other forms of attacks like, vulnerability in unpatched systems, virus or malware infiltration, APT attacks, some sort of human error as well, DDoS attacks, phishing emails aimed mainly to penetrate the systems, and a lot of other attacks as well, right? But again, this kind of, the reason I wanted to share this information is because OT security is on a rise, right? OT attacks in the OT environment is being on a rise. And this is, again, an area which you all should pursue, because definitely this would mean that there might be a lot of jobs in this industry as we see a number of attacks happening specifically in the field of cybersecurity, right? Now, to give you a summarize of the market problem, and most of it I've already explained, is the cost of data breach. Now, data breach, specifically when it comes to financial impact, is being quite high, right? 67% of the people, they in fact agree that there is a shortage of qualified cybersecurity candidates, right? Which means that to fill up jobs in these organizations, there is still a demand. And it is estimated to hit 3.5 million people required by 2025. That's the extent of the amount of jobs. And I'm talking about from a global perspective, right? Globally, the gap needs to be filled. The gap of cybersecurity job needs to be filled because of the extent of attacks which is happening all around the world. Now, a bit of information they already shared when he was running his session, but just to summarize in all, to beat a hacker, you need to think like a hacker, and that's what exactly ethical hacking means. So ethical hacking, in fact, means simulating an attack on an organization's network and systems to identify all sorts of issues, vulnerabilities you see in its own security posture, and then, most important is to strengthen the cybersecurity posture and safeguarding customers' data, right? That is extremely, extremely important when it comes to ethical hacking. Now, a role of an ethical hacker, like for all of you, for example, if you want to pursue further, the program and then become an ethical hacker in any of the organizations you would be going and working in the near future, your role is to penetrate or infiltrate into the computer devices or networks. Obviously, this is done with the permission of the organization where you're going to be performing this, to have the necessary assessment done, so that you need to figure out how effective the security strategies are, and to find out all sorts of vulnerabilities and potential threats you see in the organization's networks and systems, to discover any sort of authentication issues, security misconfigurations, malware attacks, DDoS attacks, any sort of attacks you see in the system. As I said, to beat like a hacker, you need to think like a hacker, which means that you need to demonstrate how threat actors operate. And then most important is to inform the companies towards the different kind of risks they see and how to manage risks. So risk management is a very, very important component when it comes to cybersecurity. And again, that's the role of an ethical hacker, to guide the organization towards how effectively you can manage risk in an organization. Now, when it comes to CEH specifically, and before I dig deeper into the program, CEH as a program is mapped to 20 different job roles. Okay, so you're talking about being a security administrator or security analyst, security consultants, network security engineers. So there are multiple roles specifically designed when it comes to certified ethical hacker. So you will obviously not find a role as an ethical hacker when you go and search for jobs, right? But then you have multiple different kind of job roles which are mapped to the CEH certification. So that makes it more efficient, because I always talk about this when I do these webinar sessions, that when we look at a lawyer, right? A lawyer, when he or she completes his or her degree, from a recognized university, the only role a lawyer can get is to become a lawyer, or maybe one or two roles, right? But then when it comes to CEH, there are multiple different job roles which are mapped to it. Even when it comes to industries, there are more than 26 industries today who hire ethical hackers. You're talking about education industries, the military, telecommunication, healthcare, manufacturing industries, energy sectors, government houses as well. So a lot of these industries today, they specifically hire ethical hackers. Another important information for all of you, when you do your research towards why CH is really important, you all can get onto the Forbes website and search for the best cybersecurity certifications. And as of last year, Certified Ethical Hacker was termed to be one of the top 8 cybersecurity certifications which a security professional should pursue. Now, that makes it highly recognized. That makes the CEH program highly valuable as well. Some of the important logos you see on screen, where today they are hiring certified ethical hackers. In terms of accreditations and recognitions, as I'd explained a few slides back, the CEH program itself has some of the major accreditations, which makes the program internationally recognized all around the world, right? Another form of research for all of you, again, is to get onto YouTube and search for EC-Council CEH, and then you will actually find a lot of these professionals who are working in some of the largest organizations all around the world, who in fact talk about how the CEH program has helped them in their career journey in terms of, let's say, improving their confidence, or to get the dream job they wanted, or to have an increase in their salary, for example, right? So the CH program has definitely helped them in their careers as well, right? So that makes, the program valuable for all of these professionals as well, because it has helped a lot of people somewhere or the other in their own career. Now, our research says what's really, really important when it comes to CEH buyers and students specifically. So first and foremost, it's very important for all of you to know that you need to have hands-on experience, right? So the program, CEH as a program, is not a theoretical program. It is 60 to 70% hands-on, which means that you have all the kind of practical knowledge you need and practical learning content in the program itself, followed by breadth of content. Now, what I mean by breadth of content, and a bit of a preview they shared in his initial slides, is the different kind of let's say content you can learn in the program. So which means that you learn about IoT attacks, you learn about OT attacks, you learn about mobile attacks, DDoS attacks, web application security, for example. So the breadth of content is quite high. And then most important for all of you as well is the accreditation, which means that how recognized the course is, right? Another important criteria when it comes to buying such kind of certifications is the quality, depth, brand, and recognition. These are the four major criterias which every buyer looks at when you select a course, right? So the quality of the content, how deep the content is, and the brand, which means that which, let's say, certification body you are buying the course from and how recognized the course is. So this is the major criteria which you all have in mind before you buy a course. In fact, pricing is the least concern, because, the lowest possible priced course, if you would see, might not be very effective, right? Because you always need to take the amount you pay for a certification as a return on investment, which you will get sometime down the line, because that is what is going to help you in getting a job with the kind of salaries which you all need, right? So it's more of like an investment you're trying to put in yourself. Now, an ideal training provider like ICT Academy, how do they help you? First and foremost, they help you in your entire learning journey. So when you enroll into the course with ICT Academy, they will be your guiding force right from the time you enroll into the course all the way you complete your course, and even post after that as well. If there is any sort of a guidance you all need, I'm sure that ICT Academy is available at every point of time to help you, to give you that kickstart in your career journey, followed by giving you the opportunities to practice, which means, as I mentioned, having hands-on learning, which means that practicing the different lab elements, that's very, very important. And ICT Academy helps and supports you there. Preparing all of you for your certification, which means that they, run through different kinds of mock exams, and other preparations, so that you are well prepared before you attempt your exam. And then encouraging all of you to compete and refine your skills. So it is just not learning through guided labs, but also challenges. There are multiple challenges which you can always go and attempt, so that these challenges will help to refine your own skills, right? And these are some of the major points which an ideal training provider like ICT Academies are going to be helping you with. So now we come into the major part of the program, which is the CEH version 12. The version 12 program has 4 frameworks. The first framework is the Learn framework. Your second one is Certify. Your third framework is Engage. And the fourth framework is Compete. I will be explaining this a little bit more deeper as we move down the slides. Excuse me. Sorry. So the first framework is the Learn framework. And in fact, the entire program can be completed in just 5 days. Okay. So imagine there are so many modules in it. You're going to be learning about 3,500 different kind of hacking tools, which are preloaded in the program. But in fact, all of this can be completed in 5 days, along with having 220 hands-on labs as well, which I believe is the highest compared to any other program you see out there, right? When it comes to technological updates compared to the previous version, you all are going to be learning about the Mithra attack framework, the diamond model of intrusion analysis, what fog computing is all about, the different kind of computing models like edge computing and drift computing as well. In fact, the lab modules, which I will be sharing with you in some time, has all fully licensed operating systems, which is you're going to be learning on Windows 11 environment, on Windows Server 2022 environment, Parrot Security, which is the latest vulnerability assessment